right, so I wanted to take this time to share an update. I've got quite a bit I want to share with you guys, but I'll try and keep this short and sweet. Today's Friday, and yesterday I had a phenomenal phone call with the food scientist up at Utah State University. So I don't know if you guys have been following my adventure on trying to learn how to bottle a salad dressing. We got Lumineers playing in the background. So I don't know if you can hear that, but I can see that there's a video playing behind me. And so in case you're wondering, we got some Lumineers going on. But I had a buddy, Jonas Utsuji. He was a guest on the radio show, and we started chatting. He asked me what I was up to, and I told him I was trying to bottle a salad dressing, my wife's salad dressing. I know nothing about the food industry. So he gave me a contact of a food scientist from BYU, Brigham Young University, who then gave me a contact from of a food scientist in Utah State, at Utah State University. And here's what is so crazy about this connection. We grew up in the same freaking neighborhood. So she's a little bit older than I am, so I didn't really get to know her that well, but her younger sister and my younger sister were friends and played all the time. And I literally played at the houses like next door across the street from this lady's house growing up. And it's amazing how small a world it is. I'm getting connected to an old neighbor, and she obviously recognized my last name, asked me if I was Tony Neva's son, and of course that's how we figured all this out. Literally grew up, I don't know, maybe 10 houses away from one another. So had a spectacular phone call with this food scientist from Utah State University. I'm super excited because she shared a ton of great advice with me. A ton of great advice, not knowing what I don't know. I feel super excited to have at least a direction. She emailed me a lot of a lot of information that I need to go through and read, so I have an idea of what I need to be doing. And, who knew how much went into the science of food? I mean, I had no idea. And so, anyways, had a spectacular phone call with her yesterday. And basically right now I'm at a point where I've got a ton of reading to do. I'm going to create another video kind of sharing the steps that I have to, that I'm going to basically be considering doing as my next steps. There's a couple next steps I could choose from, and one's more logical than the other at this early in this new adventure. And so I will share in another video a video more designated to the update on the salad dressing. But wanted to just share how I had this crazy connection with somebody that is going to be able to assist me in making this new adventure a reality, and we practically grew up together. So completely crazy. Then today, that was yesterday. Then today, I was able to, with my friend and real estate attorney, Jeff Brailio, we continued our podcast where we interviewed more investors on the topic of seller financing. So we did a series of about 8 interviews of 8 different investors where we simply spoke strictly about fixing and flipping. And now we're rolling out another 8 episodes, but these episodes are strictly seller financing. And we interviewed a gentleman today who basically did a wrap and then a wrap, meaning he purchased the home on a wrapping the current financing in place from the seller. So he bought it seller finance, wrapping the current mortgage in place. Then he turned around and sold it on a wrap to a buyer. And the escrow company that was in charge of facilitating when his buyer would make the payment, then that escrow company was supposed to make a payment to him for his cash flow, a payment to the mortgage company so that they could get their mortgage payment fulfilled. And this escrow company dropped the ball and accidentally stopped making payments to the mortgage company. And that triggered the pre-foreclosure notifications to the original seller. So now this home's been sold twice, but the original seller is the one that's on the loan, and now they're getting a pre-foreclosure. And oh my gosh, the situation that this individual shared with us today on the podcast was absolutely a phenomenal learning experience. And if anybody out there has ever thought that they want to learn about seller financing, I highly, highly, highly recommend that when this podcast is released, you definitely listen to this episode, because this episode had a lot of great nuggets. Jeff Braylio, my co-host on this podcast, who happened to also be this individual's real estate attorney, had great insight as the attorney on this particular transaction. So that went down today, super exciting, as well as we interviewed other individuals as well for this podcast, but that one's really cool. And then tomorrow, I have my radio show, K-Talk Radio, 1640 AM, and we've got a guest who's coming in who has a phenomenal story. If you are someone or know someone who could use a kick in the butt because you have maybe everything that you need and have always had, and maybe you're privileged and because of that you don't tend to be hungry. This individual came from Mexico, didn't speak the language, basically came as a child, was separated from her mother at a very young age. Her father abandoned her when she was 2, abandoned her and her 3 sisters and her mother, so there were 4 siblings. The mother came to America for a better opportunity, brought her daughters along with her at some point. She couldn't bring them immediately, so that was kind of, that was very sad, but the mother, obviously wanting to do better for her kids, came to America, was able to save enough money to get the daughters to come over. And Elizabeth, who is going to be my guest tonight, shares that she knew she was going to see her mother, but she didn't realize she was coming to America. She knew her mother had obviously left, and because she had left, she was getting reunited with her mother. So when she left the home with her belongings, she knew she was going to see her mom, but didn't even realize she was coming to another country. And now she's killing it. She fix and flips houses. She has a portfolio of rental properties, and she's been able to do all of it. And she's an entrepreneur. She owns another business. Anyways, super cool stories. So for all those people who, are tire kickers, they want to basically, or know somebody who's like, I should really do this, or I want to do this, but they never take action, you definitely want to tune in tomorrow, 1640 AM, K-Talk Radio, to hear Elizabeth's story, because, talk about coming from nothing and now living the American dream. If she can do it, coming from the background that she had of being extremely poor and not speaking English, and now learning how to read real estate contracts. If she can do it, anybody who was born in this country can do it. So if you need a kick in the butt or a little inspiration, or somebody who could use that, definitely tune in tomorrow. And if you miss the radio show tomorrow, don't worry about it, because we film every radio show and then we post the videos right on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, so that you can basically watch and listen to these shows at your leisure. So, man, today was a super busy day. Yesterday was an extremely busy day. Oh, yeah, and yesterday evening, as you may know, I'm the vice president of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association, and so we held our monthly meeting, and Mike Baird, for those of you who don't know who Mike Baird is, he had his own television show on Spike TV called Flipman. Basically, it's just kind of like Chip and Joanne or Flip This House, all those shows that basically take an ugly house and make it drastically better and turn around for a nice profit. He was our special guest last night, sharing different real estate tips on building your real estate business to be able to flip for nice chunks. And so if you missed that, if you're not part of the Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association and you have any interest in getting involved in real estate, I highly, highly recommend you check out our website, become a member. Our website is UVREIA, but just Google Utah Valley Real Estate Investing Association. You'll find our website. and the information there needed to be able to join our association. So yesterday was a super packed, busy day. Made some great traction with my salad dressing. I'm super excited to be going down this road to be able to start up a new business, start up a new company, and in an industry I know nothing about. I'm just driven by learning, I guess, and I love taking new adventures. And so this is going to be fun. Did that with the dog leash, obviously did it with real estate, just starting these new companies, these new ventures, and seeing where we can go with it is always so much fun for me. So yesterday, packed day, today's a packed day. Wanted to kind of share that, give you a little bit of an update. I will create another video here shortly on more about what I learned on the phone call with the food scientist. I kind of just gave you a little teaser, a little bit of information on what we talked about, but man, we talked about a ton of stuff and tons of different options. So again, the hope about documenting my path, pursuing bottling a salad dressing, basically a food product, is more to help anybody out there who has ever thought that they want to do this. Basically, they have a food product that they'd like to bring to market, whether it's cookies, whether it's salad dressing, whether it's a sauce, whatever it may be. For anyone who's ever thought about wanting to pursue that, but having no idea what to do, like myself, I have no idea what to do, but I'm going to document what I figure out, then the hope about documenting all this really is to help those, to maybe give them some direction. As I find direction, I'll share it. And maybe it's a bad direction, and so you'll learn from my mistakes. You'll learn from my nightmares. But the good direction, hopefully that will help some in being able to take action and knowing what their next step is, and seeing if we can get other entrepreneurs out there to be able to learn from my path of mistakes that I'm about to make in a completely new industry that I have no idea what to do, and maybe we can get some more food products out there, or just businesses started up in general. So, on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow when I'm on my way to the radio show.